Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon for the latest film interviews, features, and recommendations on the movies that matter.
Gentlemen, ladies, this is so exciting. We're going through difficult times, and one's constantly looking for ways to make this interesting and ways to talk about films that give us joy and pleasure. And hence, I'm so excited that all of you agreed to do this Masaan reunion, so to speak. Of course, joining us today, Neeraj Ghaywan, the film's director, Varun, the writer of the film, and the three wonderful leads of the film, Vicky Kaushal, Shweta Tripathi, Richa Chadha. Thank you so much. It's 5 years to the week that the film premiered in Cannes. I want to start by asking you all, how did this film change you? Did it change you in any way? Because I know for a lot of you, this was your first film, and even for those who had worked before, I think you've all said separately that this was a very profound experience. It was a one of a kind shooting process. What did this film do for you, change you in any way if it did?
Yeah, I mean,
who is going first?
Yeah, Richa, go first.
Neeraj will go first.
You all say first, then I'll copy.
Come on, Neeraj.
For me, it is, I mean, literally life-changing experience to make Masaan. Primarily because also I was in a very corporate setup back then, and now suddenly I worked as an assistant on Gangs of Wasseypur. For me, this was my first film, and from all those, from that time of wearing suits and speaking corporate lingo to now suddenly listening to Dushyant Kumar's poetry and Kumar Gandharv, and going with Varun on a train to Banaras. I mean, that moment was how it started, and I literally think this is a rebirth for me. With the way this film has been, and the most profound experiences that I've actually kind of carried with me was a time when we canned the last shot of the film on the river. We had gone to the other side, and I was just looking at Richa and Vicky over there, and I thought this is the last day, and me, Varun, Nitin, and all of us have created these characters, and this ceased to become these fictional characters, and they started to be real people for me. And I thought I lived an entire lifetime of these characters. And tomorrow I'm going to they're going to be Vicky Kaushal and Richa and Shweta Tripathi and Sanjay Mishra and Pankaj Tripathi. And they're not going to be, Devi Pathak or any of those characters. So that really was, it wasn't sad, it wasn't happy. It was just a very profound moment for me.
Varun, you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for me, two things happened. One, as a writer, it gave me confidence in my craft or in my whatever storytelling abilities, or just finishing the script. Bigger confidence it gave me was on a very psychological level कि यहाँ इस शहर में फिल्में लिखो तो बन जाती हैं. वो जो काफी साल आप स्ट्रगल करते रहते हो, आप लिखते हो, कभी बनती नहीं है, शूट से पहले बंद हो जाती है, या आपने लिखी हुई है, पता चलता है कि वो अगले साल करते करते. तो जब ये लिख रहे थे फिल्म और जब फिर शूट हो रही थी, मेरे को बिल्कुल भरोसा नहीं था कि ये फिल्म कोई भी देखेगा दुनिया में हमारे सिवा. हम लोग शायद इसको एडिट भी कर पाए, पूरा नहीं कर पाए. मुझे एक्चुअली पूरा भरोसा था. जो भी जहाँ पे छोटी सी चीज होती थी ना कि ये करें कि नहीं करें, ये तो समझ नहीं आएगा, हो सकता है. एंड आई वुड टेल नीरज की चिंता मत कर, कोई नहीं देखने वाला, हम ही लोग हैं, हम अपने लिए बना रहे हैं और हम लोगों को समझ आ रहा है ना, उतना बहुत है, कोई और देखेगा ही नहीं. So then when it finally got out and it had its journey, and it is 5 years now and we are still talking about this film. So that is on a very, I would say, psychological level, that shift happened, that okay, things happen, films get made and films get seen, and then they have their own destiny. But yeah.
Okay. Shweta, Richa, any of you? One of you?
Better go first.
Okay. तो एक तो आई एम ग्लैड दैट एक्टर्स को ये नहीं बताया गया था कि फिल्म के बारे में ये सोच रहा है कि पता नहीं कोई देखेगा कि नहीं देखेगा. because both, I think Vicky and I, we had shot our first features earlier, Zuban and Haramkhor, but Masaan was our first release. So I think I'm talking for both of us when I say this, that वो जो पहली release की जो एक every project is special, but your debut when you see yourself on the big screen and the way it makes you feel, and also when we were shooting Masaan, I knew it's a beautiful script, but एक वो I think I don't like to think about कि इस फिल्म का क्या होगा या फिर क्या क्या हो सकता है, हम इसको इंटरनेशनली रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे और टीम इंडिया जीत कर आएगी, तो ये सब कुछ नहीं सोचा था. So when it kept on happening, I still remember I was traveling for Haramkhor and Neeraj का message आया था that I need to tell you something, and it was one of the happiest moments of my life, because as an artist I think it's a great privilege and you feel so blessed कि आपकी country में नहीं बल्कि across the world people are watching what you have made. So तो एक तो that aspect, and the other thing was just the moments, and one moment that will always stay with me was when जब बस का एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है and दीपक को उठाया जाता है, that there are bodies that have to be cremated. So and Neeraj had told me that in that scene शायद मेरी शक्ल दिखेगी भी ना, and obviously I was all right with that. So the camera was not even on, but I remember it was so heartbreaking, and the three of us, what we felt, I think that is just so beautiful and so special that memory will always stay with me.
Richa?
For me, Masaan will always be special because I hung out with Neeraj a bit during Gangs of Wasipur, a bit with Vicky also, but for me, Masaan was a real big change in my life in terms of how I view life. It was very difficult to do the film and do this character because, like Neeraj said, I really feel like if I had been as smart at that time as I am today, I would have gone for something professional, I don't know, maybe gone to a therapist or somebody after the film was over, because I had a really hard time getting out of it. And recently I was watching another actor talk about it and I was like, okay, chalo, I'm not alone and this happens to everybody. I really had to exercise that character out of me. In fact, there's a scene which is not there in the film anymore. Is it there? I don't know, Neeraj. When we got onto a train and we were going to another station, and so my character says bye to Sanjay Mishra and
It's there.
Jhonta's character.
I think she's talking about inside the train, and then we
inside the train.
That shot, na.
She
gets a call from Sadhya.
Oh, that's Sadhya.
Yeah, that scene is not there. Sadhya ji ke usse thoda pehle wala aur wo. So at that time, I know Neeraj and me were there, and there were a bunch of crazy people on the train also. Some civilians who were going berserk. I don't know why, but at that time when I said bye to Sanjay ji and that kid, and yeah, there was a woman who was hitting. She's going a little mental. But I mean, at that time, I really cried, And it's not like Sanjay ji and I have spoken since, or we are friends, but I don't know. Then I realized that, as actors, we are putting ourselves in those states a lot. We are genuinely putting ourselves in the state of grief, or in a state of loss, or in a state of joy. We are putting ourselves in that state consciously. And now the body doesn't know that what we are doing is real or fake. And so that all that energy is within you. I really feel like that film changed me profoundly because it was a real coming of age kind of mature situation in my life. And it's something that I'll always cherish because I met some of my closest friends and everybody.
Vicky?
Okay, done. I'm done.
No, I would just like to copy paste what Neeraj said. It was pretty similar. I would say that it was life changing for me. Post Masaan, for majority of the years, for the longest time, my identity wasn't Vicky Kaushal. It was the Masaan guy. So that's what this film did to me, and it was very special. The things I learned from Deepak, the character in the film, just spending time at those burning ghats, seeing those bodies just turn into ashes one after the other. It just made me see life on a very deeper level. Before Masaan, I was this 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 Bombay kid who had just done his education, grew up in this city, and not really traveled outside, seen a life from a different perspective. And this was the first time I was actually living a life on a deeper level in a different perspective, and it really changed me. It changed me to not just become a better actor, but also a better human being.
The thing about Masaan is that it's this beautiful film of incredible sadness also. I mean, it talks about things that are so profound. It talks about love and loss and coming to terms with grief, accepting grief, seeking closure, seeking redemption. Also how death can, death provides answers to a lot of things. What did y'all, to the three actors, I suppose this question is, what were you personally connecting to when Neeraj and Varun offered you the film?
For me, I was really excited. I thought, okay, Wasipur ka AD film लिख के लाया है. The idea is damn good. Varun is there. So it took some time to make, but I had a blast making the film. But I think that for all of us, and I say this for all of us, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, what we've managed to do in the film, retrospectively, or like, how was I so mature to achieve that? Because in my head, the character was just going through like the loss of this man that, usko jigyasa apni mitani thi. She was trying to fight and get out of her small town identity, break free from that and live a life of independence and freedom. And she didn't think there was anything wrong in that. And I think for everybody, there was like you said, this film is a film of profound sadness. It's like what Rumi says, where the wound is, that's where the light enters you. And I think this is true for us all. We were all so young, didn't know what, especially Neeraj, it takes the work of Neeraj and Varun. Both of you either have some amazing spiritual evolution or you know how to fake it. I don't know. Because you managed to do this, and it's such a deeply moving film for that reason, because the grief is so severe in both cases. And then people overcome from that grief, and like, the nicest people you meet are the most healed people. So there's some healing in the film, I feel.
Yeah. Shweta?
So like she said that I don't think we were itna mature tab to understand the script message. Also
not at all.
Beginning हो रही थी films and career की तब, but I think one thing that makes a huge difference is that what you have been exposed to while growing up, the experiences that you've had. So like for example, my parents, they always said कि जिससे भी शादी होगी, caste, height, color, all this does not matter. What matters is education. And that is something, now that was not my reason why I chose the script, but I'm sure it was in there. I was thinking about all those things. And one thing that I remembered was that when I read Deepak and Shalu ke scenes, I was just beaming. And I think something that I depend on even now, that I read any script that comes to me as an audience. Because if I think I would like to watch this, then I want to be a part of this because that people would like to watch it. Agar mujhe hi maza nahi aa raha hai, ya mujhe he does not push a button somewhere, then I feel ki फायदा नहीं है. So the whole balloon sequence, and तब तो गाने बने भी नहीं थे, and then everything just kept on getting better. And even the introduction scene, that how it starts, the focus starts with two other people, and then वो कैसे आ जाता है. So it was just beautiful. And I think one of the most important things is if you can evoke an emotion. अगर आप किसी को कुछ feel करा सकते हो, then I think it's win-win right there. And Neeraj, I had met him a few times before, and I just knew that I had to work with this person. Not because friends थे या जो भी थे, but I thought that he doesn't even know me. I'm not a dependable name in the industry, but he thought of me as his first option, and he thought of me while he was writing the script, and that for me was...
I want to tell you why he thought of you. You know what he told me?
No, I don't think...
No,
I don't think we want to know about that.
I want to know.
It's very cute.
We want to know. We want to know.
Okay.
He said, yes? "Oh, Bena, can you see me?" He said that I asked him, "So Shalu kaun kar raha hai?" He said, "You know Shweta Tripathi." I said, "Yeah." He's like, "यार, वो मरेगी तो कितना दुख होगा ना?" कि वो कितने क्यूट सी है ना, वो मर जाएगी तो कितना दुख होगा. And I was like, "Oh, that makes total sense."
Absolutely right.
Vicky, for you, what
I
did you
thought that was
connect with?
very cute.
It is
So I'll be very honest. When I got the film, I was just happy that I'm getting a film to work in. I was just hustling through auditions and I was just wanting more work. And this script just landed my way. And I had given the audition for the film. And Neeraj, of course, was a good friend. Varun, I knew somewhat, and Richa, Shweta. But when I got the film, I was just my first reaction was that thank God I have another film. And once I read the script is when things started changing, because I was like, damn, I am lucky to get this script. Like Shweta said, I was not thinking that what will happen with the film, if it'll release or not. It was just that I'm going to get an opportunity to work with friends on a great script. That was it. And once the journey started, at that time I was an empty cup, and I was really wanting and waiting for somebody to just fill that cup. And Neeraj and Varun were, I think, the perfect people to do that. And from that point on, I had just completely surrendered to them, because I was wanting to, I was just hungry for work. And also that, I think, kind of changed into my kind of hard work towards the character. So I took it up, and then it was fun also for me to, come to know a new character, a new world, Banaras. I remember I had gone to Banaras along with Neeraj and Avinash Arun, the DOP of our film, few weeks before we actually started shooting. And I stayed there and I lived there and I was just chilling there and kind of taking the world in. And the whole experience became more than just shooting a film for me. It was very immersive. It was very enriching for me as a person. Deepak became like, I don't know, like I said also somewhere that, I thought that it was about giving colors to the character, but I thought what happened was the complete opposite, that the character added more colors to me.
And it's true actually, because Banaras plays a character in the film itself. I mean, this film is about, so much of it is because it's Banaras. But I want to ask Neeraj and Varun, the same question really, to extend that. What was the one idea? Because the film is about so many things. It's about escape. It's about how death can heal. It's about so many things. What above the other ideas was the one idea that was the reason for you to want to tell this story?
I think what really started for me was this irony of death, and how when you how death can change you. And many people associate death with a lot of sadness and a lot of melodrama attached to it, but I think it's also very fulfilling as an experience, because it does change you as a person. You really come to terms, you really come of age dealing with the loss of someone. For instance, a parallel would be also like dealing with the loss of first love. We think that we will never resurrect from it, but actually we come out as greater human beings. And for me, it is that association, that coming to terms, is what for me fundamentally was the film. And when thankfully Varun came on board, and we went on to this trip to Banaras, where we stayed in his hostel, and for 30 days we've been like experiencing the ghats, and we jammed together. We came up with the story. Then Varun came back and he wrote the screenplay, and I think more or less that's the theme of the film for me.
Yeah. Okay. Varun, for you?
Two things. One, of course, what Neeraj said about death being a very grim topic generally, but here we had an idea where we can talk about death and find some sort of closure in that space. And second for me was my personal attachment with Banaras. So as Neeraj just said, so we stayed in my hostel, which is my college. So I went to IIT, BHU, Banaras Hindu University, and so I left Banaras in 2003, and it had been like 8 years when we started talking about this film in 2011, when Neeraj first approached me with that short film he had written. And I still had lots of, complex feelings about Banaras, leaving Banaras and never really going back to find that closure with the city and the places I loved and the culture I loved. And so I just wanted an opportunity to go back and find some stories there and live in that city again. That was one very, very, just a very physical emotion level attachment I had with the script. And then when we went there, it became much more than that. It became about, one central idea, if I say, it would be the, moral conflicts in a small town.
Correct.
And which we all kind of have this idea of small towns being some other planet or something, but then seeing how, it's like any other town in India. Of course, this story I won't, set it in any other city, but still it was just about moral conflicts of people like us in these small towns, and which then includes caste and patriarchy, and how these two kind of come together in the end. So like caste identity and gender identity both kind of clashing by the end of it. So that was one central idea.
For a film whose themes, like you rightly said, Varun, are quite grim, it felt like, and I was watching a video which was the making of the film. That felt completely different to what the theme. It really felt like a happy place. It felt like it seemed like a really unique kind of experience. Fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very much so, sir. I want to give you a trivia over here that the serious, grim-looking, sexy director of ours is the king of PJs in this world. Most horrible jokes that you can ever imagine come from here.
No, actually, in fact, the more tense the situation, the more is Neeraj's tendency to come up with PJs, because that's his way of dealing with tense situations.
Half my shots of looking sad in the film are after a PJ from Neeraj.
Okay, उसका अलग से award तो उसका मिलना चाहिए.
No, actually, I have consciously done this. I realized how, I actually observed Anurag doing this also on the set, like how he would just like be this fun person, and suddenly, because I think everybody, 300 people on that set would always, no matter what, look up to what the director is doing and what is the mood of the director. And everybody starts behaving like that. So I think that thing of camaraderie, and also all of us were debutants, all of us were like making it together. So it was all this sense of camaraderie and this fun atmosphere. So that really helped in circumventing the fear. The legit fear, the paranoia that I used to live with. Varun, Nitin, Avinash, Karuna, all these people would know what I went through. What I would never show it to these guys, because I'd never want them to know that I'm feeling like underconfident, or I am actually
always on your face.
That's why the PG is.
Neeraj, you've said that for you the hardest scene to shoot was the first scene, the scene with Devi and Piyush going to the little hotel.
Well, yes. There are a couple of things also, because Richa had complete trust in me, and I trust Richa. And you never know, because we both are artists. We also want to push our boundaries. What is the point that you do? When does it become? There's a thin line between friendship and pushing yourself as an artist versus when does it become exploitative in a way? So I wanted to be wary of that. I knew that.
I want to tell you that there's no way in which you would have done that. And it was funny because you made the guy do push-ups because you were so stressed.
That was another way of actually, because I was
skinny boy topless in his chaddis doing push-ups before the love-making scene, and Neeraj is having intense.
There was a reason.
Am I being exploitative? Is this objectification?
No, not that. I'm just saying there was also a reason why I asked him to do it, because when he was enacting to make out, he was not really, tired or huffing or whatever. So I made him do push-ups. I said, now you will look like you're actually doing something. So yeah.
But was this a hard film to make? Y'all were recreating the ghats as well, right? Because you weren't actually allowed. Yeah. You're not permitted to shoot on Harishchandra Ghat. Y'all were recreating that. Was it and long hours? I remember Vicky telling me in an interview that there were days y'all shot 16, 17 hours, shot through the day or all through the nights to get those night portions. Was it a difficult film to make?
Absolutely difficult film to make. I actually didn't realize it's going to be this tough because of the emotional turmoil that you go through. That are you going to fail these people who really trust you? That was the biggest hurdle for me, and that's why it would always keep me at a back foot. And I'm trying to like up my game all the time. And I'm checking with my company, with Varun and all these people that are we going right? Are we going right? Yeah, physically yes. Like we had to recreate the entire ghat on another virgin ghat that we found who gave us permission to shoot. So we had to recreate all of those fires and everything. We got a lot of wood, and all of that had to be created. So for me, making it was this very journey of a lot of friends coming together and making it, and that was that solace of having friends. But after we shot, and I think that also was a huge journey for me. I had 6 set of producers. It's an Indo-French co-production, and 6 massive ass companies. I think we'd say okay, 6 big companies, and all of them are stalwarts. And it was so challenging to actually manage a co-production. It is very, very difficult as it seems, from what it seems. Of course, I mean, all of these people like Guneet, Anurag, Vikram, all these people were together with me. Drishyam Films. Then from the French side, there were a lot of these things where everybody would want to have a certain kind of thing. Everybody loved the film. And, after we made the first edit, I legit thought that I have ruined everyone's career and I've made a shit film. And I think this is not right on me to actually have wasted everyone's time and resources. And I was actually in a depressive phase at that time. And thankfully, I called my friend Fatima, who was the first one to watch the first cut of the film. And I thought I wanted someone who can totally say to my face that this is really obnoxious and you need to rethink your career or something. When she saw and she really loved it, and that's when we got the confidence. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Slowly, as screenings happened, Melita, our French producer who came in, she saw, and that's when I realized. And after, also in the journey of Cannes, also it became what I think. Letting go of a lot of dear things to me was a big one. One of the biggest ones is the track of Deepak's elder brother. Bhupesh had played that part. In that also, there's one entire track that nobody knows so far. It's not, I've never spoken about it, but I want to say it now. It's been too long.
Maybe now you should release it on YouTube.
I can't release though, but yeah, I mean, I can talk about it. So there was a French actor. I mean, was one of the very celebrated French actress, Sylvie Testude, a multiple Caesar Award winning lady. She had come down to Banaras. She shot scenes with us. She actually plays the part of the love interest for Vicky's brother, Deepak's brother. And they actually run away with the family's money. And that's the moral dilemma that Deepak's character actually goes through. So that is what I really feel bad about, because I have seen her work, and to see her perform and do those scenes, it's magical. And those scenes are not part of it. That also aches a lot.
Why did you have to cut it out?
I mean, the film actually became too long because the tracks were multiple, and it sort of diverted from the main 2 tracks, and wanted to keep it together also. And also the French producers thought that, it feels such a neorealist film for them, and they didn't want a French star to, kind of come in, and it would have become not an indie film, which is what even the Cannes people were saying, that, they were saying that, they were actually telling us that why don't have all of you producers on the stage, because it would seem like a big film. It will not be taken as an independent film. But yeah, having said that, I mean, the most difficult thing, the thing that I can never ever reconcile with, never ever can I come up to, can I ever live with or come to terms with it, is something that I've done wrong, and is that I can never forgive myself, is that on the stage of Cannes, I forgot to invite Varun on stage as a writer. I can't, I don't know why, but I live with that regret. There were so many problems with the producers wanting to come on stage and whatever, but I didn't do it. So that is that one big regret that I can't ever let go.
बिरयानी खिला देना उसकी, हाँ.
Oh, I think you should let go. You can do another film in which both of you can go on stage together.
Yeah, we're trying.
Can I?
Now you know that he's the heart, and he's all heart, Neeraj. That's why.
Yeah, you want to respond, Varun? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want to add, first of all, thank you, Neeraj, for acknowledging that. I mean, you have acknowledged that already to me, but doing it.
I want to publicly acknowledge it.
So amazing. Thank you. बट आई जस्ट वांट टू से कि कितना मुश्किल था ये फिल्म बनाना. मैं बस उसका एक छोटा सा ट्रिविया आपको बताता हूँ. वो जो सीन है जो कि शायद ज्यादातर लोगों ने जिन्होंने फिल्म नहीं भी देखी है उनको भी, क्योंकि गाना उन्होंने देखा है तो वो मालूम है कि लास्ट में इधर से दीपक एक बलून छोड़ता है, उधर से शालू एक बलून छोड़ता है.
Such a beautiful moment, yeah.
और वो स्क्रिप्ट में ही लिखा हुआ था, और वो स्क्रिप्ट में 2 लाइन का सीन है. इधर से दीपक छोड़ता है, डायलॉग भी नहीं, कुछ नहीं है, गाने के मोन्टाज में लिखा हुआ है. इधर से दीपक गुब्बारा छोड़ता है, उधर से शालू छोड़ती है, दोनों गुब्बारा ऊपर हवा में है. Cut to just like 2 or 3 lines. Okay, when you account for that in the budgeting, in the shoot time budget, हमने वो लास्ट का 1 घंटा रखा था. आफ्टर द शूट ऑफ द डे इज ओवर, रात को 8 बजे शूट खत्म हो जाएगी, ये लोग जाएंगे बाजार में वहां उस समय दुर्गा पूजा चल रही थी बनारस में. तो दुर्गा पूजा का वो पूरे रोड पे सजावट लगी हुई है. वहां पे दीपक को एक गैस वाला जो गुब्बारा आता है, हीलियम बलून, वो इधर से छोड़ेगा. ये खाली ये शॉट लेना है, बाकी बाद में लेना है. सिर्फ दीपक का क्लोज और ये एक बलून छोड़ता हुआ. वहां पहुंचे 8 बजे, शूट दिन का खत्म हो चुका. इट वाज ओनली 2nd और 3rd डे ऑफ शूट. तो वो लास्ट में एक्स्ट्रा पूरी जो पानी पूरी जो लास्ट वाला होता है वैसा डाला हुआ था. वो सिर्फ उतना करके, और वहां पहुंचे 8 बजे पहुंचे. वहां पता चला, सबसे पहली चीज पता चली कि वो दैट गाय इज अनरीचेबल जो हीलियम बलून लेके आने वाला था. दैट गाय इज नॉट देयर. देन वी केप्ट ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट. देन पता चला कि हीलियम बलून इज नॉट अलाउड इन दैट फेस्टिवल एरिया, बिकॉज 2 साल पहले कुछ ब्लास्ट हो गया था द बलून सिलेंडर, हीलियम सिलेंडर का. सो कॉप्स हैव काइंड ऑफ डिसअलाउड दैट थिंग. तो ढूंढने गए, कहीं और खड़ा होगा, करते करते 1-1.5 घंटा उसमें चला गया कि वो कोई एक बलून, वी जस्ट वांटेड 1 स्मॉल बलून विद हीलियम. वो नहीं मिला. 8 बजे जो काम हमारा खत्म हो जाना था, वो 10 साढ़े 10 तक वहां बलून ही ढूंढ रहे हैं, नहीं मिल रहा है. देन उसमें पुलिस आ गई, हो गया तमाशा. एंड वी वर चीटिंग. वी वर लाइक on the road, there were no permissions, nothing, and there was this small crew. Ultimately Neeraj had to use his engineering degree to that. वहां पे कैसे करें, तो बलून के ऊपर एक टेप लगाया, एक पत्थर बांधा, एक रस्सी बांधी, और इधर से पत्थर से फिर तार के ऊपर डाला, फिर इधर से खींचा. एंड दीपक was pretending that the balloon is going up. It was being pulled by a rassi tied to a stone on the other end. It was just 2-line thing which we never even budgeted. And it took them 3-4 hours and so much mental trauma. And it was a scene which production at that time was like, छोड़ दो ना, ये क्या है, जरूरी है क्या गुब्बारा ऊपर जा रहा है, ये वो VFX में करें. VFX would have been then, we ultimately had to do some of it in VFX, but it was like 10-12 लाख उस VFX में लग जाते. उतने का हम लोगों ने मतलब खाना नहीं खाया पूरी शूट में.
Even I didn't know this story, yaar, about the balloon.
You were not there. It was only Vicky and a very small crew there. No, even I think Shweta was not there till then because वो
छोड़ चुकी थी. So then मेरा पैकअप हो गया.
Okay.
नहीं यार, पूजा पंडाल was later. This was only the 2nd or 3rd day. So you came in like 5 days later.
No. I was there. Huh?
You were there? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
She was there. We stood the counter.
Oh.
I think we finished with the counter and then came to that.
हाँ, you were there on the other side of the road. Yeah, sorry.
That was of course meant to be the little beautiful moment, which of course there's this beautiful story behind. But I want to talk about the big moment, which is the one of the loveliest moments in the film. Lovely is probably not the right word because it's a sad moment. It's Deepak's breakdown. It's Deepak's. I'm not even going to attempt to say the dialogue because Vicky says it so beautifully and with so much feeling. And I don't think no. And I don't think there's a single interview I've done with Vicky where I haven't asked him to say it for us, and he says it each time with as much feeling. So Vicky, first Vicky, please say it, and then tell us the story behind it.
साला ये दुख काहे खत्म नहीं होता बे?
Did you know, Varun and Neeraj first, did you know, Varun, when you were writing that line, that this was going to become one of the defining lines of the film? Sometimes you write for, not applause, but you write for feeling. You write because you know it's going to push a button. Was this that line?
It was that scene for sure for us.
Yeah.
I mean, while writing also, we knew this is one of the most important scenes in the film for Deepak's story. And this has to be written very right. This has to come at a very correct juncture. And we actually shuffled it from the script. It was at some other point. Then at the edit, Neeraj and Nitin Baid, our editor, kind of figured that this works better at this point. But yes, we were very sure. We spent a lot of time writing, rewriting this scene. In fact, a big chunk of that scene is not there in the final edit. There's a big chunk of dialogue which Deepak delivers, which leads to that thing. But thanks to Vicky's performance and how Neeraj kind of directed the scene, and then Nitin kind of his input, that we don't really need that much dialogue. It is coming across in just that one line, which is "Ye dukh sala khatam ka hi nahi hota," and the lead up is more through his face, through the expressions, through the mood and everything. But yeah, I think, and as I keep saying, what was in the writing and what Vicky, where he took that scene, there's still no comparison. I mean, this what
Yeah.
I wrote was the runway, and what Vicky did was taking the flight from there, and it took it to 34,000 feet.
Yeah. That's
Vicky, you
actually
were
every time I see that scene, I end up crying, even though I'm not in that scene and I know I'm in the film, but it just moves me so much, that scene. Every time I see it, it still brings a tear to my eye.
All of our cumulative energy actually led to something. I think that's why I think we all of us were on the same wavelength. And an example of why that scene was so. I think Varun was also sitting next to me. It was an extended 7-8 minute one shot thing, because Vicky was. I mean, we've said this before. Vicky was completely sloshed by that time, and he couldn't even get up. Like we wanted to put him in another position, we couldn't take him up, and he was feeling guilty that he's drank too much, so he can't perform anymore. So I said, Vicky, listen to me. Whatever comes out, I'm going to use it. I can edit it. I have the way to do it, and I'm going to first shoot you close. Don't worry, I'm not doing the wide master first. I'm going to shoot you close first. And when he performed, actually, that cry that came from within, that they were the friends who play the part, all of them were crying. They were really crying. And also the while I was like struggling with them to like how to act well. But this is a time where they actually cried, and they broke. After the scene got cut, when I said cut, even then they were like, they couldn't talk for a while. So that is, I mean, it's all, I think it's all the cumulative energy of all of us. I think what our sincerity in what we want to bring through, I think.
Yeah. Vicky, when you know that this is a scene that the writer, the director, everyone has, is counting on. This is the scene of the film. This is the big one. Is that a lot of pressure?
Sir, to be very honest, it is a conscious effort. Whenever you get a scene like this in any film, and this thing is what I learned on the sets of Masaan, because I'll take you a couple of weeks before we actually shot this scene, when we used to rehearse every scene in the office of Phantom, and we used to rehearse with the casting team, with the co-actors. We used to improvise every other scene, like all the romantic scenes between me and Shweta's character. Everything used to be rehearsed to the T. Everything. We only categorically we left this scene out always. Whenever this scene came, like Varun said, there was a separate script, which spoke about evolution and how, like, whatever was not needed to mankind kept, like, it went off, but this pain never goes off. So all we used to talk about was just discuss pain. And God's grace, I had never actually come across a grief like that to actually know how it feels. So all we used to discuss was losing somebody in life, or points where we've actually felt nothingness, where we felt completely hollow. And we used to just discuss it. And all Neeraj and Varun kept telling me was that this is the point where we don't care if it's 6 seconds or 6 minutes. We want it to be completely, brutally honest. We don't care what you do. We don't care what you say. This is the script. This is the platform. But we want it to be completely honest. Now, when we come to the day of shoot, this is just, I think, the 4th or the 5th day of shoot into the film. Me and Shweta hadn't even completely shot all our sweet moments for me to have that kind of memory. And when and one thing we had decided was that when we're going to do all the post Shalu death scenes of Deepak, none of the crew members were allowed to talk to me. We never used to faff. I was given my own space, and it was only Neeraj who would come up to me to say that, that let's go, it's ready and we can shoot now and whatever. It was just that, and nobody else would talk to me, and I was in a space, and that space really helped me back then for Masaan. And I remember, yes, we did discuss that. I actually had planned that I would actually drink. I would get sloshed on some other day before the shoot in my hotel room and see how I feel like with whatever's going on in my heart and brain. How the flow is. But that couldn't happen. So on the day of shoot, I asked Neeraj. Actually, no, Neeraj asked me that, would you like to try it? And it was already playing in me that, maybe I should. So when he asked me, I was like, okay, let's try it. And I did, and so did the other actors. And I remember we were getting ready for it to get dark. We were waiting for that. And till that time, he had left me completely alone on the ghats, and I was just kind of trying to imagine. And I remember I was just imagining, what if once I go back home after the shoot, I come to know that my mom is no more. And I was just trying to know how I'm feeling. Now that I'm drunk, I was just trying to know what would I feel. And with that, I went and sat on that spot, and we just started shooting, and whatever happened. And I think like he said, everything had to come together. The train had to pass at that time, which was not planned at all, and things just had to happen. And it's probably one of those moments where I felt the truest as an actor, in a created world as an artist. And it's very close to my heart in that sense, that scene, and the things I felt. And then, like he said, it was like an 8-minute shot, and I was talking, I don't know what I was talking, but I remember talking about, by that time, the track that he said that we cut out from the film, about my brother running away with his girlfriend, the French girlfriend. That pain was coming, and I was talking about that, and I was talking about our financial problems. I was talking about Shalu not being there anymore. I don't know what all I was talking about, but it just happened. And if you see the shot, Avinash had set up a mid shot, and when I start crying, I kind of fall down and I go out of frame. And the camera doesn't move because Avinash didn't know, or none of us knew that that's going to happen. And even the friends coming into the frame and doing what they did and saying the lines that they said was nowhere. It just happened. And after the first shot, I remember I was really feeling guilty. I remember apologizing to them, because I thought, it was kind of, I was new, and I thought a writer has written something, and I knew how dear the scene was to them, and I've just botched it up by saying just the most random things, and I was just saying sorry, and all they said was, that I can remember, is that all they said was, can you just repeat it again? Because we have different shots to take. I was like, I'm going to try, buddy, but I'm just going to say a lot of nonsense again. But I'm just happy the way it happened. But I guess it's one of those moments that I'll always cherish as an actor.
Richa, Devi is possibly the most complex character. I mean, she's really this very interesting character, and what's actually beautiful is that that they allowed her. They never judged her. You don't judge her because she's someone who's not, and she tells her father she's not ashamed of what she did. That Jigyasa moment is a crucial moment in the film. But I read an interview in which Neeraj said that scene where that Pune, I think, says something quite offensive to her. He said that you asked him if you could slap him, because that's what Richa would do. But Devi is in a different place. I want to ask you what it's like to be quite far removed from the character you're playing, and to get into the head of someone who does things very differently from what you might have done.
It's very therapeutic. This film really helped me tap into a lot of I like I was very constantly agitated on the set also. And then later I realized it's because I feel so suppressed and repressed, and that's not who I am. That's not how I was raised. We recently watched the uncut film, all of us. Now, when we watch it, no, it's very interesting. I guess only actors can experience this, or maybe everybody when they look at an older picture of themselves. We were watching it. Those people felt very different from us. It's just so, I don't know, it's so confusing and spiritual at the same time. It's just a bunch of people living out their life and their karma in Banaras, and I am not that person. I made that person, and Varun made that person, and Neeraj made that person, but I am not that person. And when we were watching that, like Shweta kept saying, "How do we all look like this? Why are we looking so different?" And I remember that it had less to do with how we appeared physically, but more to do with what that miracle of that film became. It just sort of exists, like in a cloud in its own world, where like Deepak is there, Devi is there. We are not those people anymore. We were those people. We left those people there, and they are like friends that you can revisit, from time to time.
Thanks to Neeraj and Varun, that the girls, and this I didn't realize back then, that the women of Masaan were so progressive.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Of course, yeah. Have you seen Neeraj and Varun? They are more feminist than us.
Exactly. And which is what कि अभी progressive में ना वो लड़कियां पटाखा होती हैं, और they are, but in our own ways. In fact, I remember even during the kissing scene, so Neeraj had told me that Shalu wants to kiss, and that time in my head I'm like, अरे, even though I as Shweta was progressive, but in my head I was like, "Arey, how will she be okay?" And this is such a shy moment, and that's when I realized that no, just you don't have to be out there. You don't have to be an extrovert. You could have desires and stuff like. And even Devi, I love that how delicately, but and the fact that Devi does not feel guilty. She wants to experience something, and she goes to that. She changes into a sari. And again, this is not something that I understood back then, but now when I look back, I feel so proud. And I feel your first few projects really define your whole career. Because that time I did not understand, but that's been a building block and a very strong foundation for me and all of us in choosing our characters. And now I know how I can make my characters stronger and like my parts even better. So thank you, Varun and Neeraj.
Thank you, Varun and Neeraj. I think, we should all thank them for giving us the most special film.
That's true.
Thank you.
अरे सबसे आसान काम होता है राइटर का, पता है, 2 लाइन में लिख दिया गुब्बारा।
उसके बाद तभी तो बॉलीवुड में इतनी अच्छी स्क्रिप्टें बन रही है। वरुण, प्लीज लर्न टू टेक अ कॉम्प्लीमेंट। ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है।
Vicky, you've made so many films, and so have the rest of you. I want to ask you all. I mean, what's the trick to this connection? I mean, what's the secret to this connection? Very often you made a film and you move on because each of you are busy professionals, and there's not. I mean, one means well, one has great memories, but one doesn't often stay in touch. I mean, this is clearly a group that is meeting, watching the film again. I mean, when I asked about this reunion, Neeraj said, "Oh, I've got a WhatsApp group. I'll reach out to all of them." I mean, what is the secret? I mean, what's the glue that binds this bunch together?
You know how people get kidnapped together and then they become nice with the other fellow kidnappees?
No, it's not the Stockholm syndrome.
क्योंकि ये हर फिल्म पर नहीं होता. This doesn't happen with every film that is made.
नहीं, हमारे साथ भी नहीं होता हर फिल्म पे. ऐसा नहीं है. Most times we just want to run and go home. But I mean, I just feel like we all built something beautiful together in the beginning when we were all starting, when we were all new and innocent and naive, and it turned out to be something with a lot of heart, and it just, I don't know, it propels our friendship. Not to say that we meet every day or we are very busy, but I know that I'm there for all these people and we are somehow always connected in some way.
Vicky, you want to add something there?
I just want to add that very well said, Richa. Very well said.
Shut up.
I really wouldn't change a word in that. I feel. I really feel exactly the same way. I feel there was something just had to happen. We had to get together and share our energies, and it just fell in place. the puzzle
But
just
guys,
got
can
read.
also can. Let's not ignore our
Of course.
frolicking
What?
and endless party.
What was that like for for a bunch of young, new, relatively new team, having their first screening at Cannes, the premiere at Cannes? What was that
We
like?
saw
Do
the
you have
film for the
memories?
first time. We
Yeah.
saw the
Wow,
film for the first time over there.
We
Me,
saw
Richa,
the
and
film for the
Shweta.
first time.
For the
Yeah.
first
I
time over
cried.
there.
Yeah,
I just
actors had
cried
not
so
seen
much.
even any cut in India. You had not seen any cut except probably
Imagine
some
you
मैं
watch
double.
your
monitor नहीं
first
देखा
film.
था.
You watch your first film in that way, and then you get a 7-minute standing ovation. It's too surreal. It's just too surreal to happen.
No, actually, that
And then
moment, I
we
think
all
none
used
of
to
us,
hang out and party. Yeah, none of us
yeah,
expected.
none of us expected. And I think when the film ended and everybody stood up and clapping, I, I mean, I literally didn't feel like I was there. I know where I was, what I was doing. That moment was magical. I think there's no other word can define other than magic. And after that, also, I think everybody left. Like I think Varun left for Rome, Richa and Vicky and all of them went to Paris or a couple of other places. And I hung out because I wanted to watch movies, and the festival paid for my entire trip. So I was like, might as well watch all these films. So I stuck around with my producer Melita Tosca on the frontier. So we were watching films, and then uh, honestly speaking, like I had no idea. She said, they've called us to come for that thing, for that Fipreski thing. So there is just like drinks and stuff. So they've asked all filmmakers to come. So like, okay, sure, well, let's go there. And they announced, and I legit had no idea because in the main competition there was the director of Son of Saul, and I loved that movie also because made by Bellatar's AD, and to win alongside him was like completely like I was totally bamboozled. And then I called these guys, and everybody like, no, we should come back, we should party. And then they said they called us again the next day for the Ensemble and Regard prize ceremony. And there it was like a proper ceremony. So we thought, okay, there's no chance here. And again, it was announced, and I can't tell you how much I missed all these guys. Like nobody was there. It was just like, he was a friend of mine with Melita,
Sorry.
and it was just like, no,
Yeah,
it was my fault actually.
yeah. No, when you
हमें
called
हमें क्या
me,
पता था? We went to hang out. Yeah.
when you called me, Neeraj, that we won 2 awards, and I was at that time in Venice and struggling to get a €4 that they have that
Recharge.
कॉकटेल ना नहीं वो €4 का वहाँ बहुत अच्छा सा कॉकटेल मिलता है they put wine में मतलब वो हम स्प्राइट डाल के वो कुछ बनाते हैं क्या नाम है मैं नाम भूल गया उसका और वो €4 का और उसमें you can take the
price पक्का याद है
you can take the glass away it was crazy यूरोप में हम लोग उस समय आज मैं जाऊं तो आज मैं पैसे नहीं कैलकुलेट उस समय करता था ना भाई एक कितने की शराब मिल रही है
Completely.
और वो €4 में वो बोलता था ग्लास भी ले जाओ आपको ग्लास रिटर्न करने की जरूरत नहीं है वो वाइन ग्लास आई वाज लाइक ठीक है मैंने क्योंकि नीरज ने मुझे कॉल किया तो मैंने 3 पिए और मैं इतना स्लॉश हो गया वहां पे वेनिस में घूमते और तीन खाली ग्लास मेरे हाथ में है साथ में क्योंकि वो ग्लास तो वापस नहीं करने मैं खाली 3 ग्लास
This is the story of
like ठीक है आज
this $4 की वाइन वाली स्टोरी €4
€4
yeah it is
what a lovely memory. But I want to end by asking you. I'm going to take off from what Varun said in the beginning. Varun, you said that initially you thought ये कोई नहीं देखने वाला हम अपने लिए बना रहे हैं. What do you think it is about this film that it continues to be so special?
Yeah, apart from everything, so many correct, sincere energies coming together. I think it was partly conscious choice and partly it just happened because of the kind of people who were associated with the project that we wanted to or the film actually manages to break so many stereotypes so right from gender to how men should behave so we had men who were crying women who were strong We had, Banaras in a very non-stereotypical light. We didn't want to show the very
The
native
tourism
or
brochure
whatever.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, the Western view of Banaras being this exotic place about, these lovely ghats and death
Correct.
and all. We wanted to go beyond that, and that was choice. And then thankfully we got that kind of, those kind of locations, those kind of people to work with, those kind of local crews, Utpal Pathak and uh, other people
Yeah.
from Banaras who helped us. And then, of course, then it became the kind of, I would say, from music. So we didn't go with the
Yeah.
conventional, Hindi film music. We got Indian
Indian
Ocean
Ocean,
to
yeah.
compose for us. So all of these things come together to give something which people, even if they don't like it, sometimes they know, okay, this is different. This is something
Yeah.
new. We have not seen this Banaras. We have not seen these kind of love stories. We have not seen these kind of conflicts like Devi had, or this kind of father, what Devi had. So everything was kind of, we were trying that, and we could try again. I'll go back to the same thing, because we knew कि कोई नहीं देखने वाला है, अपने लिए कर रहे हो तो फिर ईमानदारी से करो. So
Yeah. Go on, Neeraj.
Yeah, so the thing about how people are taking it, I just wanted to mention someone's thing which I've never mentioned before. My producer Melita Toscan, she had shown the film to Martin Scorsese, and he had sent an email which I just wanted to bring this up, that he says,
wow.
I was finally able to screen.
Now you tell us.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Martin Scorsese sends an email about the film, and Neeraj is sitting on it for how long now?
5 years.
Neeraj, 5 years.
5 years,
Neeraj,
more
I'll
than
take
that.
all those compliments
Thank
back,
you, Rajeev
man.
sir.
No, there's a legal thing to it. That's why, but now I'm okay with it. That's why I thought
Oh.
at least now I'd say it.
Yeah,
So,
okay. So Scorsese is going
Oh,
to
okay.
send his
No, not that.
painter
There's something else. Longest
to
story.
paint our house.
Okay, go ahead,
Long
Neeraj.
story. No. So Melita, he sent a mail to Melita. He says, I was finally able to screen your film, Masaan, and wanted to congratulate you on a powerful debut feature. Beautifully made, subtly woven, and ultimately very, very moving. Thank you for sharing it with me. That's what he said. So I thought I'd share this.
Oh man, how
Thank you.
amazing.
This is amazing.
You guys really,
You
really
made
know,
our
right?
day.
Neeraj,
5
Did
साल
I
बाद
say
बता
this?
रहा है.
I don't care what he said. Martin Scorsese has seen our film.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like those eyes,
So mercy.
are work.
Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you, Varun.
Very hard to top that. It's very hard to find words to top that. But really, thank you for an incredible film. It's a film of great beauty, great power, and a lot of sadness. I wish we had more time. I wish we could talk about the music, which is absolutely incredible. About Sanjay Mishra, who was so good in that role. Pankaj Tripathi in that little role, very small role as Sadhya, but so wonderful. That little boy who plays Jhota. Every character had something to do and brought something special, apart from the leads, of course, and just all sort of woven together so beautifully. Those images of the ghats, they're so powerful. Those images of of Deepak and his family, those moments where he says, hit the father says, hit the skull, and someone else says, I mean, you didn't even shy away from showing the parts that were going to be difficult to watch. Beautiful, evocative film. Thank you to all of you for an incredible film. I really think it's one of those films that will continue to get discovered and loved for a long time. Also, this is for anyone who's watching this interview. If you've missed Masaan, it's streaming on Netflix. Please watch it. It's an incredible film. You will absolutely love it. But thank you also for this wonderful chat. It felt like I was, I felt like the sort of outsider, the voyeur on a conversation between
Part of the gang
friends.
now, sir. You're part of the gang, and so is Darth Vader behind you.
Rajeev, just say it once now. Dukh kahe khatam hai. Just say it once.
Yeah. Please.
Come on,
The
Rajeev.
writer is sitting there. You want me to?
Yeah.
Rajeev.
No.
Come on,
I-
Rajeev, just say the line.
The actor, the writer, both are.
Come on.
No,
Yes.
they don't mind.
ये
Yeah,
दुख
yeah.
काहे खत्म नहीं होता है बे. But my God, I can't believe I even attempted. I'm giving myself 0 out of 5 for that.
Oh God, I'm you 20 on
I'm
10.
going to leave it to the professionals.
That's
Thank
the
you so
best
much.
take.
Really?
I'll give you 3 on 5 for that, Rajeev.
Oh my God, that's a lot coming from you, Varun.
that's
Thank you.
huge.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks for
Thank you for
having
this. Thank you for this lovely conversation.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you so much.
you.
Thank you.